Good morning. My name is Shoshana, and today I want to talk about finding your true authentic self, coming back home. I'm a guide to life, and I made this channel in order to help others kind of navigate the spiritual awakening process, to better understand what you are going through and why you are going through it. This process is so extreme and we sometimes forget or lose sight of the purpose of it or the magnificence of it or why it's happening or different aspects as we go through ourselves. We are experiencing all of the different human experience, all of the different emotions to the extremities. And we have to go through it to become in order to become our authentic selves. We can't go through it and be above it at the same time. So sometimes we need kind of help and guidance to kind of understand what is happening, why we are feeling these big swooping emotions, and sometimes we're just broken on the floor. And this process is breaking us free of our boundaries, of our limiting beliefs. So we are breaking the outer shell that is holding us in place in this boxing us up. I'm holding this crystal, which is a crystal that gives clarity. It's good to have this next to your bed at night. I forget the name of it, but it gives clarity of thought. So, and this is my first orgonite, which is Metatron. So I just have these in my hand, kind of asking Spirit to come in and guide me. I myself receive guidance. Um, and I'm very, very humbled by this process because as I am also a guide through the process, but I am also, you have to be there to know it. So in my own self, I go through ego death again and again and again, and I am humbled by this whole process, and also feel completely graced and honored to be able to have the words to put on it, to be able to help others to understand. And I understand that that is a gift in itself. I feel like it is a gift that was given to me to give. So it's not even mine, it's just flowing through me. And I'm doing the best that I can to interpret it as it comes. And the more of these videos that I do, the more I understand that that is my own personal part in the expansion of the all as I personally expand on my own journey. And in understanding that, I understand that each and every one of us has a purpose and has a place and has something that we have come to give to humanity that is naturally flowing through us. And when we find that, and when we purify ourselves, that means remove, that's what we're doing on this process, removing all of the things that are impure, all of the beliefs or conditioning that was put on top of our authentic self, and breaking free of that. And as we break free of that, we're revealing ourselves to ourselves and revealing ourselves to the world, which is the lesser of the two. Revealing ourselves to ourselves, and then we can live our own authentic life, aligned with our higher self, aligned with our purpose, aligned with our natural self, what we were naturally born to. And I read all of the comments, and there's sometimes I can't get to them all. I'm going to try to sit down and take a few hours and get to reply to all of the messages, but I do read them all. And somebody said something about channeling messages. When you purify yourself and you remove the limiting beliefs, what you are and who you are is divine and is divinely guided and is connected to the one consciousness, to the all. And then naturally, as you bring yourself forward, you are channeling your own little channel. It's a channel. your radio station, your connection to the all, and the way that it filters through you is channeling. So when you purify yourself, which means you quit acting out of greed, scarcity. What is greed? Greed is a finger of scarcity, of believing that you are not enough, believing that there is not enough, believing that you are less than, believing that if you don't go out there and you grab and try to hold on to things, then you won't be provided for. And during this process, that's one of the things that we're letting go of, because when we let go and quit trying to hold on to more than we need, then we get everything that we need to the exact. And holding on to more than you need is actually, it's like, if you have this, if you are this channel, if you are this hose, this pure hose that is just continuously channeling through it, if you're holding on to more than you need, it stops up. It's like a drain that gets stopped up. And there's more to hold on to and more to be responsible for and more to worry about and more than you need. And you're taking it doesn't, when you start purifying yourself, naturally you start letting go of things. You start living more minimalistic, and then you realize that the less you have, the more you have, the more space you have for yourself. And this is natural. This happens naturally. There's so many ways to get to the same output, so to the same outcome. So you can start letting go of things, and that will help you along learning the process of what it feels like to let go of what you don't need. And one thing that I did notice in my life, and I'm getting a little bit off track here, but I think that it's important because we're already at this point. One thing that I did notice in my life is that when you let go of something that you have a really hard time letting go of, but it's just pure clutter. Even a piano. I had a big piano in my house, and I don't play piano. But I loved it and I wanted to keep it. But when you start letting go of things, once they're gone, out of sight, out of mind, it's like they're gone, and you have more space for you and for the things that really do matter, and the things that you really do need in your life or want in your life, the things that are important to always find a way to stay in your life. And even if you let go of something and you have that feeling afterwards, like, oh no, why did I let go of that? That is also something that is coming to teach you, and something that will expand your being. The sun came out the window, and all of a sudden I have a shadow on me. And so when you start letting go of things, you start seeing that the important things do stay in your life, which are your relationships, the people, and even that feeling of I let go of something and oh no, and that feeling of it's like FOMO, fear of missing out. Even in that, there's a gift of letting go and having to go through that and having to release something. And so it teaches you that mechanism within yourself of release, of, okay, it left my life with ease. Just let it go. It left, let it go. And that's the surrender that we keep on going through again and again and again on this spiritual awakening. And the point of this video, let's get to the point, is that as you come back to your authentic self, sometimes all you need is one authentic conversation, one person that truly sees you, your inner self, your true self, the authentic you, underneath all of those grasping and needing and behaviors and limiting beliefs, and somebody that can come in and have one honest conversation with you through everything and accept you for who you are and show you, kind of mirror yourself back to you. Because once your true authentic self underneath everything is exposed to the light, you can't unknow what you know. You can't unsee what you already see. If you have an inner knowing and all of a sudden that being that is in you got expression and was exposed to the light, there's no going back. Even if it feels like you go into this place of pure expansion, somebody actually saw you, had a pure conversation, and then you get tossed back into your life and you feel like you're drowning again in all of the circumstances of your life. But just that one experience of that one time being completely exposed and having a complete, authentic conversation at the core of your being that you cannot go backwards. So even if you go back into your life and you feel like you're completely drowning again in your own life, and again you feel lost and that there are shadowy places, things that you don't have clarity on, just having that exposure will lead you to your freedom. Because once your soul, your pure self, was exposed to the light, will not go back into the darkness and be hidden again and go backwards. You can fall asleep in various areas, but there is an ignition that happens there. Something is ignited in you. There is a fire that is lit. And once you taste that expression of your pure, authentic self, the taste is so sweet that nothing superficial, no fear. You cannot fear something enough to, the want and the yearning to be in that expression will be so much greater than any fear that you have. And then it's just a process. It will happen. Once your true self is exposed to the light, it will happen. It will happen, either you going down the stream, dragging on the sides and trying to hold on and no fear, or you just completely surrendering and allowing it to happen, and then it happens so much easier and more beautifully. And if you don't know what to do, the answer is always in letting go, release. If you don't know how to react to a situation, you have your regular reactions like running away or exploding or whatever it is. You can just do no reaction, and slowly you will begin to shift. It's a shifting. It's an inner shifting that happens, and as you shift, all of these outer layers just start falling apart. There's nothing to hold them up anymore. There's nothing there. You don't have those mechanisms that are fighting against what is and having to hold things in place anymore. There's a release that happens inside, especially once your authentic self is exposed. And exposed is a little bit of a harsh word for it. Once your inner self is seen, once it gets some kind of light, once it receives attention and legitimatized and even just airtime in your life, and the attention, focus, attention, once your true self gets some attention and love and being seen and being legitimatized and being given the opportunity even to shine out with no need for defense mechanisms. Because a lot of times we feel like if our inner self is really shown out, our authentic self is really comes out, our soft side, we don't allow ourselves to be soft and exposed and vulnerable because we're afraid that we're going to get hurt. But once that soft side is allowed to come out, and actually we see that that's our strength, because once we can be our authentic self without fear, we give ourselves legitimacy, and then that is true strength. Once we truly love ourselves and give ourselves the space and knowing and truly love that authentic being that is within, we don't need those defense mechanisms anymore, because anything external from us doesn't have to give us that approval. And so this is kind of a invitation. If you are ready and you want to have that conversation and you want to be seen and you are ready for a pure, authentic conversation, so I am inviting you. My contact information is below. You can reach out to me and we can set up a one-on-one session to kind of look and see what is going on and what external mechanisms you have built around yourself. Kind of go deep and authentic in a conversation, because sometimes all you need is one conversation to ignite and to expedite and to trigger and to there's a word for here, kind of give that push on your experience and in your spiritual awakening. um, all you need is that one conversation of truly your true self being seen in order to even recognize your true self within yourself. So my contact information is below. You can reach out and contact me. I'm sending you guys so much love and support in your process and in your spiritual awakening. And thank you for watching.